Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? It is really late. I went to bed early last night with Alex, and I actually went to bed before him, and I completely crashed out. That actually hasn't happened to me in quite some time. My allergies have been killing me today, so it's really late, super late. And I know I always say this vlog is not going to be super long, but this vlog's not going to be super long today because I want to go home and go back to bed. My nose is killing me, and I'm like, my eyes are itching and running, and it is allergy season, full blast here in Indianapolis, and the allergy medicine that I take, it helps a little bit, but because it's not like the other allergy medicines, because it truly, truly is non-drowsy, it's just not as strong as the other stuff. So I woke up just completely congested and my eyes running, and allergies are no fun. They are no fun. If you don't live in an area where you get fall and spring allergies, they just are no fun whatsoever. But I was listening to a little bit of the Body Heat soundtrack. So if you've never seen the movie Body Heat, it's fantastic. I was actually sitting here wondering why they haven't done a remake of it, because it's actually a remake, or it's actually a movie that they could remake into something modern that I think could be done really, really well, depending on who they cast in the part. And the original was with Kathleen Turner, and she's just, she's gorgeous in the movie, and why can't I think of what his name is? The guy that plays the detective, the journalist. But anyway, it's about a love affair and an insurance fraud, and it's kind of like a movie that, like, it's kind of like a love story mystery that they would have made, like, in the 40s, but, like, it took place in the 80s. The soundtrack is fantastic to it, and I don't know when the soundtrack came out, like 10 years ago, but they redid the soundtrack, and some symphony did it, and it's just beautiful. It's so sometimes I just like to listen to it. I have a lot of soundtracks actually on my, I should pull in here and tell you guys all the soundtracks I have on my iPod. Wouldn't that be kind of funny? Because you guys know I love movies so much. Go in here and look. I actually don't have any idea. I mean, I don't have all of the soundtracks, but I have songs from each of these movies. Okay, so I have from Jackie Brown, Across 110th Street, Alfred Hitchcock, various artists, Annie, the Broadway show, Basic Instinct, I have most of the soundtrack, Blue Crush, that's from the movie, that's from about the surfers, Body Heat, Bubble and Brown Sugar, I love that Broadway show. Dumplin' original music, it's got a Dolly Parton song on it. The Essential Hans Zimmer, that's a Thelma and Louise song. I have like 2 songs from 50 Shades of Grey. I have Glee, I have tons of Glee music. Are you a Gleek? I was a total Gleek. So, I have music from Gatsby on here. I have a Hannah Montana song. I have Les Miserables. 2 different soundtracks from that, like the new movie and the original play. I have music from Mean Girls, Pitch Perfect. I have music from A River Runs Through It. My Dog Skip. Once. Did you ever see that movie? My mother loved the music from that. Practical Magic. It's actually a song called Crystal by Stevie Nicks. Psycho. That's more music from Alfred Hitchcock. Rush, which was an Eric Clapton soundtrack. The movie Rush is one of my favorite movies of life. A Star is Born. Original artist, I don't know if that's from Wild, and 20 Feet from Stardom. What do I have from there? Oh, Walk on the Wild Side by Lou Reed. So anyway, I was listening to that, and it's because it's very much like the weather from that movie. It's kind of like breezy. It feels very humid outside. It's 72 degrees. And I'm so ready for summer. It's going to be such a fun summer. But if you've never seen Body Heat, you should see it. You could probably get it on... actually, I wonder if they have it on Amazon Prime. I should look and see. I hardly ever use Amazon Prime. I need to be using it more. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Do you guys use Amazon Prime a lot? I don't, but they actually have quite a few movies on there. Oh, look at that. They have The Ruins. What did I just say I'm looking at? Okay, Body Heat. Basic Instinct. Oh no, I thought it said Basic Instinct 3. Oh yeah, they don't have it. Oh, Frantic. Did you guys ever see that? It's on Cinemax. You can get it. That's one of the things I do like about Amazon Prime is it shows you where you can see the movies. Amazon Original Bosch, new season. Is that like a, is that based on Harry Bosch from the Michael Connelly books? How many seasons do they have of that? Oh, 5 seasons. Hell, I didn't even know. It has to be. What's the Killing season? Add to watch list. Could you guys tell me some of your favorite shows? I'm going to start watching some shows. I'm going to start sitting outside in the evening and watching TV with the candles lit and stuff like that. Now, it was supposed to be cooler today, I thought. Let me see what the weather's supposed to be like today. Yeah, it's supposed to start getting colder. High of 70 today. What's 72 right now? And then Friday, 59. Saturday, 60. 58, 60, 65, 71, 67. And then next week it's back in the 70s. Next Saturday. And then it's constant. 76 on the 23rd. Well, we've got a bit of time then until we're going to be sitting outside in the evenings because it's still going to be cool. I went and looked at Patio furniture today. I found these 2 chairs that I liked at Walmart for the front porch. At Walmart, they were like 2 chairs and a table, came to like $258 or something like that, which I actually thought was a pretty good deal. They were like these 2 rocking chairs. And I was telling Alex about it, and he was like, my mom originally gave me this glider that I have on the front porch. It's just like this white metal, you know, like mesh glider. And I said, but I don't want to get rid of the glider. And he was like, what do you mean you don't want to get rid of the glider? And I said, I don't want to get rid of the glider. Like, I want to keep it, you know. And he was like, so why are you getting new furniture on the front patio? I said, because I just want something that's a little bit more comfortable. Because it's comfortable, but I always have to get a new cushion every year. And so anyway, I was like, you know what, you're right. I'm just going to get a new cushion for it, save the money, and I'll just get some ferns and put them out there instead. I need to get a new table though, because my table's broken out there. So I'm going to get a new table, and I actually saw one at Walmart. It was like this black, like mesh table, like metal mesh. So I'll probably just go there or Menards, and I can do that today. I have so many things I have to do when I get up today. I have to get an oil change at some point, and I made my list last night, so I was like, I've got to get caught up on stuff. You guys, I have been, because I keep on forgetting to call and change my Sirius over to this car, since I've been driving this car. Well, I had, because of the white shirt, you guys, the filming of this is horrible, but, so I apologize for that, but for like the last month, I've had no Sirius radio in my car. It's just like this one ad that plays over and over and over and over and over again. So I've got to call and get it set up in my car. That's one of my things to do today. I have like 10 things I have to do. And they're not like any of them like things that will take a really, really long time. So, okay, what did I do yesterday? Let's do a little press release of what I did yesterday. I got up, Wednesday, got up, and my allergies were kicking my butt, and I just didn't even really want to do anything all day. And I went and got coffee, and then I came back. My neighbor, she was outside, like, the neighbor that we're friends with, she and her friends were, like, on the patio all day long. So I went up there and talked to her for a little while, and her friends, and the dogs ran around, but, like, she had her dog out there, too, so, like, every time the dogs would walk by the window, they would see her dog out there running around, and they would just, like, howl. So I had to keep the blinds closed. So I was filming videos and reading. I read a lot today, and listened to some of my audiobook. I really like that The Devouring Gray. It's different than I thought it would be. And when I started it, honestly, I was kind of like really critical about it. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. And the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, this is really good. This is almost kind of better than I thought it would be. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying that. What else did I do? I feel like I did other stuff today. I can't remember. It doesn't matter, does it? You guys are like, no, Peter, it doesn't matter. Oh, I cleaned up Mrs. Birdie's nest. I took her nest down, and I scraped up and cleaned up all the bird poop off our patio, so it's all gone. And got that taken down. Alex was very happy about that when he came home this evening. He went and had a glass of wine with his friends tonight. Like right at this place up the street. My allergies were bad, but like this is bad. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. There's this big billboard and it says mulch. It's like for this landscaping company and landscape solutions. And I'm like, I need to go buy a bunch of mulch for our front walk. We're already having like all of these like seedlings come up underneath there, and it's because of the same thing that happened last year with our neighbor. Like, she didn't clean her, so her front of her house, like, leads right into our walk. So she didn't clean it, and so all of it, like, spread over into our walk and made it a complete mess. And last year I was like, I'm not gonna clean it until that's cleaned up, because it's just gonna come over into our walk, and it's gonna be the same story this year. Well, we had done it once, I cleaned it once, and then the second time, it just was, like, horrible. And so I was like, I'm not going to do it until it's cleaned up, because there's no point for us to do it. And, but this year I want the walk to look really, really nice. So they're going to have to get out there and clean it, because I'm not going to. I'm not dealing with that this year. But I don't know, like, how to get rid of all these. You guys know what I'm talking about, like the really little weeds that come up, like, underneath the mulch, without going out there and picking every single one of them. Alex has been spraying it with weed killer, but it's not killing the weeds, because the weeds are coming out from underneath. Like, we don't, well, I mean, here's the thing. If you're like us, like, you put mulch down in the spring, and then after, if you live in a place where there's like a full winter, it's not mulch anymore, it's just dirt. So every year we have to put new mulch down. And, so yeah. But I don't want to put new mulch down and then have all these little weeds growing through it, because that's harder to pick out. So I need to get weed killer is what I need to do, first of all, from the store. And then I wonder how much weed killer is. Alex always buys it. I can go get a couple things of it. Where you have like the cord that goes on it and then sprays it, you know? I love this kind of weather. Even though it kills my allergies, I love this weather. It's kind of weird that we're like almost at the middle of May and like it's allergy season, because usually allergy season is like most of April, and by like the middle of May you're out of it because the flowers have bloomed, the pollen's out. But you know, this year it's bad for me. It's trash day. I gotta put the trash out when I get home. There's an exciting life of a YouTuber. Trash day. And what do I have to do today? Well, I was supposed to go have lunch with that new fashion blogger that I became friends with, but she has something that she has to do, so we're going to do it next Thursday instead. She's some kind of meeting or something, so she can't do it. So we're going to do it next Thursday instead of this Thursday, which is totally fine by me. It's been like 2 weeks now. Let's see, almost 2.5 weeks since I started Octavia, and I haven't had Ruth's Cafe grilled cheese and soup, and I am so craving it. I will say I craved that the other day. I was like driving by and was like, oh, I want a grilled cheese, but I think like I can hold out and not go get a grilled cheese and some soup for the need to stay on track, you know. I still don't know what we're doing for Mother's Day this Sunday. I've learned to just kind of go with the flow about that kind of stuff. Back in the day, I would have been like, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Have you not figured it out yet? Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Now I'm just like, tell me. Let me know when y'all figure it out. And I'll be there with you guys. Feel it right here in my throat. It's like, Cleaned up the kitchen a lot today. I like to keep like kind of like a straight clean kitchen. If it was up to me, I wouldn't. Like, it's nice, it's whatever, but like that we have, you know, little knickknacks around and stuff like that. But if it was up to me, I would just have like nothing in the kitchen, just the appliances. I still sometimes am not used to this car stopping itself, like to start it up again, you know? It's weird to me. Kind of feels strange already that we're past Easter. I don't know why. That we're coming up on Mother's Day. I will say it's like this year seems like it's kind of going by so fast. I remember when I was a little kid and being in some class. Now this must have been like, well, I was always the youngest one in class. So first grade I would have been like 7. Second grade I would have been like 8. So I would have been second grade. And I remember writing on a paper at the top of the paper. I can see myself sitting there on the desk. And whatever the date was, I don't know the date, but I wrote like 1980. And I can see myself like in my head writing 1980. Which I think is such a strange memory that I always have, you know? And, but it's weird thinking that it's like, you next year will be what, 40 years it's been 40 years since I wrote that, like, and I still have it as like a strong memory in my head. Like when you see pictures of your parents and like, when my mom was like my age and, I was like, I don't know how old I would have been. So I think my mom was 28 when she had me. So 28, 38, 38, 40. She didn't even make it to. Okay, so, well, no, because 28 to 38. So I would have been 20 when she was like my age. 19 or 20. So let's say when I was in high school. So she was a couple years younger than me when I was in high school. And I can remember looking at her pictures from high school and thinking, like, how old school they looked. Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, they looked like totally from like yesteryear. And I look at pictures from me and my friends in high school, and I think like, yeah, they don't look like they were taken yesterday, but they don't look like they were taken, 30 years ago. Like, as far as like pop, you know what I mean? Like, if you're older, you'll understand what I mean. Like, it's weird. It's like, what probably looks like if our pictures of our youth look so like old-timey to younger kids today, but like they don't, like for us, they don't look that way. It's weird, Or do you think? I don't know. Like, I don't look at pictures of me and my friends from high school and think, God, I think that they look like they're dated, but I don't think that they look like, I don't think of them like the way that I, when I was 17, would look at pictures of my mom and her friends and be like, God, these seem like from another era. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel like that to me. So it's weird, like our perception of like time and stuff like that. But I'm sure to other people that, are in their teens or their early 20s, like my high school pictures would seem really dated to them. You know what I mean? And it's weird to think that. Sometimes I see it like when friends of mine that are like, especially friends of mine that are gay, when I see them on Facebook, and I guess part of it that's hard for me is, other than the beard and the white hair, like I don't, honestly, like there's a lot of me that doesn't look a lot different than I looked. I'm heavier. So being heavier, having a beard and having white hair, other than that, like I don't look a whole lot different than I did, like my face, like my eyes and stuff like that. And like kind of how I dress. Like I don't look really a whole lot different than I did at, let's say, that age. More like 20, 22. But what's hard for me is, I'm going over the bridge. Isn't this so pretty out here? Can you see? You can see the lake over there. But anyway, so one of the things that's hard for me sometimes, or interesting, is that when I'm on Facebook, and it's especially like my gay guy friends, that, oh, it's gonna stop, hold on a second. It's especially my gay guy friends from back in the day, and, now, because I had a lot of friends of mine that were, like, when I was going out and stuff, all of my gay guy friends were, let's say, 3 to 5, 6 years older than me. Some of them 10 years older than me. So now, they're in their 50s to 60s, right? And the majority of them, now I have a couple friends of mine that look really, really, really good to this day. And, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them look very aged. And I don't mean by any means that I think that I look, oh my God, I look so much better and whatever like that. But I just mean like they don't even, they physically look different. Like when I look at them, like if you look at like my eyes and stuff like that, like, and you look at a picture of me from 20 years ago, sure, like I'm heavier and the beard and the hair is different, right? But other than that, like if you put me next to that person, you would be able to see it's the same person. Like for me, sometimes I look at these pictures and I'm like, I don't even know, like they look so completely different. And a lot of them it's because they've lost weight or they've gotten really into shape or whatever. You know, it doesn't just have to do with like they look bad. I don't mean it like that. It just means that they, like over time, they've changed so much. They just don't look the same, you know? And when they post pictures from like back then, you know, in the early 90s when, you know, I was going out and stuff like that, like I really do notice like a time difference then, especially stylistically, because I mean, some of the things that I guess we wore back then, I forget sometimes. I don't know, like, and I was always kind of just stylistically did what I wanted to do. So some of the things that they all did, like I didn't like the pegging your jeans. Like that was really, really big when I was like in high school and up to when I like, you know, got sober. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? When you like roll your jeans over and then you peg them so they're real tight at the waist. Like that was really big for a while. And like the hairstyle, that very flock of seagull kind of hairstyle was like really, really big. I kind of had something kind of like that, but not really 100%. So like, you know, these pictures that I see they'll post, it'll be like a group of guys that I was friends with that I thought were so good looking. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I think back in the day, you know? And they have the peg jeans and they have the, you know, the flock of seagulls kind of hairdo. And so maybe, I don't know, but they still don't look to me like how I would look at pictures of my mothers from like the 1950s and be like, these are so dated, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. Time is a crazy thing, how it changes us, you know? Oh. I need to turn around and go back the other direction. I'm like way out here, but I don't know where I'm at. Still love the sound of a turn signal. The house is kind of cute, just sitting in that field. It's funny what you notice when you drive, you know? I always be like telling Alex, like, oh, this house that I saw. And he'd be like, where is it? And I'll say, well, you have to like go down this street. And he's like, how were you out there? Where did you see it? And I'm like, I was vlogging. And he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I was just vlogging. I was like driving around and I was just like looking and I saw this house and he's like, why were you all the way out there? And I'm like, so I try to kind of like do a loop, but sometimes it's kind of a loop that goes like this. If you live in Indianapolis right now, I'm like on the backside of Geist. He's like, that's so crazy that you go all the way over there. I'm like, I know, but it's still like, it's a loop. So it's the same amount as if I would just go back and forth. I mean, that gets boring to go back and forth, you know, on like a main road. It's very calming for me. Lately, I have been not rendering my vlog when I get home at night. Like back in the day, now tonight I probably will because I'm kind of awake now after having slept the majority of the night. But back in the day, I would go home and I would start putting my vlog up. I would render it and put it together so that then when I was asleep, it would, like I would wake up and it would be like one piece, if that makes sense. I take all the clips and I put it together, and then I would wake up and it would be one piece, and I could upload it onto YouTube, and I could go get my coffee and run my errands, and when I came back, it was uploaded, which is the easier way to do it. But then, for a while, you know, I would like come home and I would render it, and I would sit there and I would, you know, have some hummus and some chips and cheese and stuff like that, which, by the way, I came home this evening, and, oh, where did I go? Oh, I went to Walmart to look at the furniture. And I said to Alex, I go, what are you eating? And he goes, hummus and chips and cheese. I was like, I'll give anything. I give my left leg for some hummus and chips and cheese. I wouldn't really, like, I'm not really hungry for it, but like the idea of it sounds fun, you know, just to sit there and just snack. Anyway, which that's my, you know, food addiction stuff, but, oh, so I would, you know, while I was sitting there eating, like watching some show on Netflix or something on my phone, it would render, and then when I was done eating, I would, you know, get ready to go to bed. It was like 20 minutes later, half an hour later, it would already be rendered, so I would start uploading it. So when I woke up in the mornings, my vlog was uploaded and ready to go, which that was nice, because then the next day, I didn't have to worry about like uploading a video on my computer. Like I had the space, you know, I could do, because I mean, I know that this isn't something that people probably think about, because why would you, but like to upload 4 to 5 5 videos a day if I do all 5 channels, or even 4 videos a day if I don't do one of my channels, it's hard to upload it, you know, when you have like one computer, like to get it all up, because you have to kind of like, while one video is uploading, you have to wait for another one, you know. So I have some kind of tricks around all that, but that's probably the most time-consuming thing for me, honestly. Like, the filming the videos, that doesn't take me too long. I mean, I have that kind of down to a science now. Sometimes with my Peter Monn channel, like, that takes me a while, because, like, I have to get, like, all the information together. I have to watch some videos. I have to, like, edit the receipts that I'm going to use in the computer, in the video, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that usually takes me a little while to do. And then sometimes, like, it'll take me more than one cut to do it, like, because I don't like to edit those videos. So like if I get 5 minutes in and I'm going way off on a tangent or something. Somebody was asking me this the other day, and they were like, do you really do that? And I'm like, oh yeah. And they're like, seriously? And I'm like, oh yeah. Like I'll get like 5, 6, 8 minutes into a video, sometimes even 10 minutes into a video, and let's say if I go off on a tangent, or it's just not flowing the way that I want it to flow, because sometimes, like, and this is where I don't understand like YouTubers that like do stop edits. Like they'll just like edit, and then like as they're talking, they'll like go edit, you know, like I don't understand how you do that, because I feel like it interrupts like the natural symmetry or like the flow of the video. And so if I'm like kind of like rolling in a video and I go off on kind of like a tangent, or I'm like, you know, talking about something else for too long, I will stop the video. Like if I'm not happy with it, because I'm kind of a weird perfectionist this way, like, and I know it doesn't seem like that on that channel, but like I'll reach over and I'll stop it, and then I'll delete it immediately. I don't watch it, I just delete it immediately, because I know that if it's still there, then like I'll want to use it, or I'll just want to keep on going, and like I won't have the same energy. There's a lot of times that like I'll be at like, let's say 14 minutes, 15 minutes into a video, and I'll like gone too far, or I'll like realize that like what I wanted to say or the direction that I wanted to go in, I had forgotten. So I'll stop it and try to edit it in, and it almost never has the same energy on the end, and that always frustrates me, because I think there's kind of a flow, you know, like, little insider secret. I mean, people probably think Peter doesn't think much about those videos, but I do. Like, I think about that, like, the consistency of the energy, and, you know, are the jokes coming, and if I'm trying to be more serious about it, am I keeping that, you know, to the same level, and, you know, are the receipts in there, or am I waiting till the very end? Is the intro way too long? Because sometimes, like, you know, honestly, like, people can, you know, people either love the intro or they hate it, but sometimes, like, it'll be, like, 8 minutes, and I'll still be talking about something that has nothing. If you guys go back and watch my old videos, it was much worse. I like wouldn't even get into the topic till like 10, 12 minutes. But like now, I like to be in the topic by somewhere between 2 and 3 minutes. Because I see like kind of the intro to my videos as, you know, like if you're going to watch Johnny Carson or something, not that I'm any Johnny Carson, or, you know what I'm saying, like David Letterman, it's like the intro kind of to that a little bit. where I talk about a couple other things first and I go into that. I mean, I understand I'm no David Letterman, but that's kind of what I do with that. You know what I mean? It probably would be easier if I just edited, but like I said, like I feel like it interrupts. Oh, the air! I want some air. It's hot in here. I feel like it interrupts like the natural flow of the video. If you've ever watched one of those videos where I just did it the other day. I can't remember what video it was. Well, like my Manny video that I did the other day, it wasn't so much like that because I said, like, okay, like if I cut it, I know I'm gonna come back because I wanted to show my big chapsticks in it, but they were upstairs. And I was like, I gotta go get them, they're upstairs. And then I came back right back and I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, I'm back, right? Like that doesn't necessarily do it. But it was the other video that I did that day. I can't even remember what it was about now. James Charles in his Met Gala outfit. There was like a point that I started going way into talking about something that I didn't want to. So I stopped it. And then I had to look back at the point where I was like, okay, where was I at the direction that I was like going into something that I wanted to say? And then I went back and I started it from that point. Well, I mean, in reality, I was like in my head 6 or 8 minutes ahead. So when I went back to try to recreate it, it wasn't there. You know what I mean? And I could see it when I watched the video back. I was just like, yeah, it doesn't have the same feeling to it. So even though I don't edit, I really do think about those things. I mean, I think those are kind of like natural editing that I think about, you know? There's been some videos that I've made on my Peter Monn channel where I've literally started and deleted it like 6 and 7 times. And that's where I've gotten in like anywhere from 3 to 8 minutes long. Because it just doesn't have the jokes that I want it to have, or, you know, it doesn't have any humor in it, or, I mean, I don't plan my jokes out, so, like, I'm not saying that, like, but, like, I don't even try to plan, like, a song at the beginning of it, and, so sometimes I don't, you know, put a song in. I know sometimes people get sick of that stuff. I try to mix it up. Sometimes I try to get right into the drama. The thing is with the intro is like if I don't do the intro, people are like, I missed the intro, you better never get rid of your intro. If I don't use the fan, people are like, why didn't you use the fan? If I do it, then, I mean, you know, so I try to kind of mix it up a little bit so that everybody's happy over there. But I have so much fun with that channel. I'm really craving a Diet Coke. I don't know why. I just thought of that. It was like when I was driving by that gas station or something, and I'm craving like a can of Diet Coke. Isn't that so strange? You know, I'm allowed to have 1 Diet Coke a day. Like I was watching this girl's channel and she was like, you know, because it has, I actually think it's more than that because, you're allowed to have so many of like sweet and lows a day, and I think it's like 2, and so she was like, you can have like 1 Diet Coke or something a day, and because she needed her Diet Coke. She's like this girl that does like these Optavia videos on, or however you pronounce it, on her channel, and she's very interesting, but like, in all honesty, like, she goes to great efforts to make the food look like real food. Like, she's like, okay, so we're gonna take this brownie mix and we're gonna mix it up and we're gonna make waffles today. I'm like, I just don't have that kind of energy. Like, it can look like a brownie to me. I'm completely fine with that. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't have that kind of energy about all of it. And I know that that's horrible, but I'm like, it could taste like a shake. That's fine. I don't have to make it into bubble gum. You know what I mean? But I guess if you were on it long term, like, you would have to do something because it would get kind of boring. Maybe. I don't know. I just don't like that kind of stuff. Doesn't bother me. Like, I don't get kind of bored to it. I get very used to like the structure and the regimen of it. But she did say something in there about how she has to have her Diet Cokes, and so I was like, oh, so I can still have Diet Coke on this. But I don't have a problem going days on end without drinking Diet Coke. But when I think about wanting a Diet Coke, I want like a Diet Coke. I like a can of Diet Coke. I like what's the other one too? Coke One, is that what it's called? That has like no sugar or anything in it. I'll have to search and see, like, really how much I can have. But I've been trying not to drink soda anyway. You know what's so interesting with me is that, like, well, first of all, can I just tell you that I did that, that e.l.f. Bubble mask for my review channel tonight. And I was so excited about doing a bubble mask. And, so I did it, and I was like, while I was doing it, I was like, it's making my skin really, really greasy. Well, I, like, afterwards, like, washed my face really, really good and all kinds of stuff. And it's still, like, I can feel it. It's like my skin, I'm really hypersensitive to my skin being greasy. That's one of the reasons why I use the Aveeno lotion, because the Aveeno lotion, like, soaks right in, and it gives you kind of like a soft dry, if that makes sense. Like, it's not greasy whatsoever. And this is like, my face is still greasy from that mask. I don't think that mask did me any favors whatsoever. I have to be kind of careful with my skin. Like, I can't overdo it because of my skin. I don't know if it's my skin type or what. Oh my God, this Anytime Fitness is absolutely packed. There's so many people in here this early in the morning. That is crazy to me. But I have to be kind of careful with it. Like, I can't overdo it. The gym is small compared to my gym. Because if I do, like, a lot of face masks, which I like to do. Now, the cup of coffee face mask doesn't really do this to me. It doesn't dry me out or do anything like that. But if I do too many of them, or I do too many lotionings, or, like, eye care products or whatever, my skin, like, starts becoming very greasy, which I don't like. And so I have to be careful of that. I stopped actually using the Kiehl's face wash on my face on a regular basis, and I'm back to using bar soap in the shower. True story, bar soap in the shower, Dove, or not Dove, Dial, just white bar soap, because that Kiehl's was starting to make my face really greasy. And it was it was normal to oily skin, and it was like, I would get out and I would feel like it was oily and greasy, and I didn't like it. So I'm back to using that. And I do use the other skincare products and stuff like that, and I do love the Kalamazoo beard and facial wash, but I usually only use that, like, if I'm not going to take a shower. Like, if it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm like, you know, or if I'm getting ready to do, like, a face mask, like, I'll wash my face with that, because I have it, like, right next to my sink. I love that from Lush. I haven't been to Lush in a while. It's probably a good thing. I go there and then I buy things that I definitely probably shouldn't buy. It feels like this week went really fast. Time goes too fast, don't you think? I'm, like, sitting here, like, I always think about time in reference to, like, summer and Christmas. Like, I don't know why, but, and I think I've always thought that way because my birthday's in June, and then Christmas is, you know, and so it's, like, almost exactly 6 months apart from each other. And, like, I'm trying to think of, like, Christmas, and I don't even really remember what we did for Christmas now. Remember we went over to my cousin's house on Christmas Day. It's funny, isn't it? How time goes so quickly. Oh, I found out today they're not doing Ultra Music Festival in Miami anymore. They've given up their bid because people were not happy with where it was this year, and they want to give a better experience. So they're going to keep it somewhere in South Florida, but it's not going to be in Miami anymore, which means we won't be going to Miami for Ultra Music Festival, which is kind of sad. It'll be interesting to see where they have it. I mean, I don't know what else is considered South Florida, like West Palm Beach. Is that considered Florida? South Florida? Fort Lauderdale? I don't even know what's considered South Florida. Naples? I mean, that seems like kind of a strange place to have it, since it's so loud. I mean, and it's all because of how loud it was. It was so perfect at the Bayfront in Miami. You know what's crazy to me about it is, you think about how many people from around the world came to Miami for Ultra Music Festival and Winter Music Conference, and now none of those people will be there, right? And you think about the tourism of Miami, which I'm sure Miami doesn't need that kind of money, but still, like, you would think that it probably brought a lot of really great money to Miami, like, you know, restaurants and hotel stays, and I mean, it was impossible to get a room in Miami anywhere the week of Ultra, and it's just crazy to me. So, I don't know where it's going to be from now on, but it's kind of sad. Melissa and Jason and Alex and I were in a group text about it today, kind of like, oh, can you believe that this is happening? I was like, no, I can't believe it. There's this thing over here on the CVS, and this is where I was driving by, and it says Coke 12 packs. Hold on, it's like rotating. Ask us about but it says Coke 12 packs. I just like turned around and came back the other way. And Russell Stover and Whitmar ask us about our Russell Stover chocolates. No, thank you. Select Charmin and Bounty. Just the bottom line is, like, you can't read it, so it's not in there. But anyway, Arm & Hammer, $2.99. I have a feeling that maybe that's what I saw that made me think about the Diet Coke. Do you think? That's probably what it is. Oh, you guys, listen. I am at almost the end of this stopping, so I'm gonna get off. I am going to get off here now and bid you good night so that I can go home and go back to bed. You see the sun is starting to come up a little bit, and it's really not as bright as it looks in that. It truly isn't. I don't know why it looks that bright over there. So anyway, it's still rather dark outside. I hope you are having a fantastic Thursday, unless you have other plans. I hope you're having an amazing Thursday and week, unless you have other plans. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And yeah, tell yourself that in the mirror, pass it on, tell somebody else, and smile at strangers on the street. Treat yourself a little kinder today, treat people a little kinder today, take a risk and do something fun, and have an overall amazing day, unless you have other plans. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love you.